Power, control, influence. These are the desires that pulse beneath the surface of every ambition. Yet, what does it take to attain them? Not just through strength or charisma, but through a deeper, darker understanding of human nature. We all seek power, but few ever achieve it because they fail to grasp one brutal truth. Power is not given, it's seized. What if I told you that the key to mastery in this ruthless game isn't kindness, loyalty, or even intellect, but the ability to manipulate, to outthink, to control the very emotions and actions of those around you? To be unpredictable, feared, and untouchable, while others remain helpless in your wake. The Machiavellian mindset isn't about leading through fairness or justice. It's about bending others to your will without mercy, without hesitation. Imagine being the one who doesn't follow the rules but rewrites them, who doesn't care about morality, but only the result. What would you sacrifice to have this power? Your conscience? Your emotions? The chains that bind others are the ones that set you free. This isn't for the faint-hearted. To be Machiavellian means to operate in the shadows, to live without the constraints of societal norms. Are you ready to uncover the secrets of the most ruthless minds in history? Prepare yourself, because once you learn how to become a Machiavellian, there's no going back. Let's begin. To become a true Machiavellian, you must first acknowledge a hard truth. Power is not something granted, it is something seized. The world operates on the principle of dominance, and those who understand this fundamental rule rise to the top. But power does not come easily. It demands sacrifices, it demands cunning, and above all, it demands ruthlessness. Without ruthlessness, you will forever be at the mercy of others, never able to shape the world around you according to your will. Power is a game, and like any game, there are rules. But unlike others, you will not play by the rules of fairness, morality, or social conventions. The Machiavellian does not concern themselves with right or wrong. They concern themselves with victory. In this world, it is the ruthless who prevail. The kind-hearted, the empathetic, and the fair-minded will always be outmaneuvered by those who are willing to do whatever it takes to win. Being ruthless doesn't mean being careless or reckless. It means making decisions based on one thing: control. You must ask yourself, what will advance your position? What will ensure that you have power when it matters most? If it means betraying a friend, breaking a promise, or sacrificing your conscience for the sake of your goal, then so be it. The Machiavellian mind doesn't hesitate. They understand that loyalty and compassion are weaknesses in the ruthless world they inhabit. These emotions cloud judgment and prevent decisive action. The true Machiavellian operates with cold precision. They are not swayed by feelings of guilt or fear. They see the world for what it truly is: a chessboard, and each piece on that board is a potential ally, adversary, or tool to further their ambitions. To survive in such a world, you must learn to act without hesitation, to make decisions that others cannot fathom, and to pursue your goals without remorse. But here is the key: ruthlessness is not about mindless cruelty. It's about strategic cruelty. When you make a decision, it must be calculated. It must serve your long-term interests. For instance, you may have to cut ties with someone who has become a liability. You may have to manipulate situations to your advantage. Every action should be thought through in terms of how it will give you more control over your environment. You must also recognize that those around you are not allies. They are obstacles to be navigated. People will always act in their own self-interest, and when those interests conflict with yours, you must act swiftly to neutralize the threat. It's not about being merciless for the sake of it. It's about maintaining the upper hand at all times. The ruthless mind is not a place of cruelty for cruelty's sake. It is a mindset of clarity. There is no room for hesitation, no room for second-guessing. The Machiavellian knows that power can slip away in an instant, and that the only way to keep it is by being willing to sacrifice everything for it. This may mean betraying those closest to you, or doing things that make others see you as cold or calculating. But those who criticize you for your actions are the same ones who are too weak to see the truth of the world. The world is built on power, and only the ruthless are capable of seizing it. The key to true ruthlessness lies in your ability to detach yourself from emotions that cloud your judgment. Emotions like love, friendship, or guilt are the chains that bind you. They will hold you back from making the hard decisions necessary to secure your position. The Machiavellian is someone who can look at a situation with absolute clarity, free from the distractions of sentimentality. Their focus is on one thing only: winning at all costs. To embrace ruthlessness, you must also embrace the idea of being feared, not liked. People will respect you out of fear long before they respect you out of affection. The Machiavellian does not seek friends, they seek power. They understand that fear is the most potent weapon in maintaining control. People are more likely to obey someone who inspires fear than someone they like. Fear ensures that your decisions are followed, that your will is enacted. But the true genius of the Machiavellian is not simply in being ruthless. It is in knowing when to be ruthless. They are not animals acting on impulse. They are strategists, calculating their moves and ensuring that every action brings them closer to their ultimate goal: power. They are always thinking 3 or 4 steps ahead. Every action is a piece on the chessboard, and they are positioning themselves for the final checkmate. Ruthlessness is not about vengeance, it's about control. It's about using every situation, every person, and every opportunity to maintain your grip on power. It's about understanding that in the real world, there are no heroes or villains, only players, and only the ruthless remain at the top. When you can let go of the constraints that society places on you, when you can disregard the morality that others follow, you will begin to understand the true nature of power. To become a Machiavellian, you must be willing to make the sacrifices that others won't. You must embrace the cold, calculated nature of ruthlessness, and understand that in this world, power belongs to the one who is willing to do what others will not. This is the foundation of your power. This is where it all begins. To be Machiavellian is to understand that power is not merely about strength or physical dominance. It is about control. Control over situations, control over outcomes, and most importantly, control over people. This is where manipulation comes in, a skill that is not only essential to becoming a Machiavellian, but the very tool that ensures your survival in a world driven by ambition and self-interest. To master manipulation is to become a master of the human mind, and once you control a person's mind, their actions become an extension of your will. The first step to mastering manipulation is to acknowledge that every person has weaknesses, vulnerabilities that can be exploited. It's not enough to see people as allies or enemies. You must see them as tools. Tools that, when used correctly, can serve your purpose. Understanding the emotions, desires, and fears that drive people is the key to shaping their actions. Once you know what makes someone tick, you can direct their actions, making them dance to your tune without them even realizing it. The Machiavellian manipulator operates from a place of calculated empathy. You must understand others deeply, but only to the extent that you can use this knowledge to your advantage. You must be able to read their emotions, their thoughts, their intentions. This isn't about forming genuine relationships. It's about creating a facade of understanding, of connection. Once you have created this illusion, you can begin to shape their behavior. One of the most effective tools in manipulation is mirroring. People are drawn to those who seem familiar, those who reflect their own thoughts and desires. By subtly mirroring the actions, speech patterns, and emotional responses of others, you make them feel as though you are their ally, their confidant. This mirroring creates a sense of comfort and trust, and it lowers their defenses. They begin to see you as one of their own, which opens the door to influence. However, mirroring is not enough. You must also learn to exploit the emotions of others. Fear is perhaps the most powerful tool in a manipulator's arsenal. Fear creates vulnerability, and vulnerability creates control. The Machiavellian knows how to create fear in others, whether through uncertainty, threat, or emotional manipulation. People who are afraid will do whatever it takes to rid themselves of that fear, and they will turn to you for solutions. This is when you step in, offering them the protection or guidance they crave, but only after you have extracted something of value in return. Another key element of manipulation is creating dependence. To control someone, you must make them rely on you for their happiness, success, or security. This can be done in subtle ways, by offering advice, support, or guidance in moments of vulnerability. The more you give, the more they need. Soon, they will find it difficult to function without you, and when they can't function without you, they will have no choice but to obey your commands. But manipulation is not only about using emotions like fear or dependence, it's about controlling the narrative. You must always position yourself as the source of power, the one who holds the answers. People will follow those they believe have the answers, and to achieve this, you must never let anyone see you as vulnerable. You must always project confidence, even when you are uncertain. Confidence in yourself breeds confidence in others, and once people believe in your power, they will become pliable to your will. Another crucial aspect of manipulation is timing. A well-timed word or action can shift the course of an entire situation. By waiting for the perfect moment, when others are least expecting it, you can make moves that ensure your control remains unchallenged. Patience is key to manipulation. You must bide your time, learning the weaknesses of those around you, until the moment comes when you can strike with precision and force. A true Machiavellian never reveals their true intentions. The beauty of manipulation is that it is often invisible to the victim. They do not see the strings being pulled. They simply feel the consequences. Your actions should always be cloaked in a veneer of benevolence, concern, or generosity. People will never suspect that you are playing them, as long as you appear to have their best interests at heart. This false image becomes your shield, protecting you from suspicion and backlash. The art of manipulation also requires the ability to create division. People are easiest to control when they are divided, and as a Machiavellian, you must learn how to exploit conflicts between others. By sowing discord and creating rifts, you weaken the collective power of those who could pose a threat to you. In their divided state, they are easier to conquer. Ultimately, the goal of manipulation is simple: to bend others to your will without them realizing it. You must become the unseen force that shapes their actions, decisions, and emotions. Manipulation is not just about getting people to do what you want. It's about getting them to believe that what they are doing is in their best interest, even when it is not. Mastering manipulation is not just a skill. It is a mindset. It is about understanding that everyone has a price, and the key to power lies in knowing how to make them pay it. By becoming a master manipulator, you can shape the world around you, ensuring that you are always in control, always one step ahead of those who are oblivious to the strings you are pulling. To become a Machiavellian, you must embrace the art of detachment. Emotions are the enemies of power. They cloud judgment, introduce weaknesses, and create vulnerabilities that can be exploited by others. The truly powerful, those who sit at the top, understand that emotions are distractions. To master power, you must learn to control not just the people around you, but your own feelings as well. Detachment is not about suppressing your emotions. It is about ensuring that your emotions do not govern your decisions. In a world driven by power and ambition, those who are swayed by their feelings will always be at a disadvantage. Emotions, whether positive or negative, are tools that can either empower or destroy you. Love, fear, guilt, anger, even happiness, each one can be used to manipulate and control, but only if you are able to recognize them and exploit them without being consumed by them. The Machiavellian knows that the ability to detach from one's emotions is the key to making rational, objective decisions. They can act decisively and without hesitation, knowing that their choices are not influenced by momentary feelings but by a cold, calculating logic. When you learn to detach, you no longer become a slave to your desires. You stop seeking validation or approval from others. Instead of allowing your emotions to dictate your actions, you become the master of your emotions. You view the world and the people in it with clarity, understanding that others will often try to manipulate you using the same emotions you are trying to detach from. They will attempt to play on your sympathies, to make you feel guilty, or to get you to react impulsively. The more you resist these emotional traps, the more control you will have. Detachment also allows you to view situations and people for what they truly are, without the fog of sentiment clouding your perception. You can assess your environment, the people in it, and the power dynamics at play with objectivity. This clarity is invaluable in any Machiavellian strategy. With detachment, you can make decisions that are always in your best interest. You will see opportunities others might miss, and you will avoid risks that others might blindly pursue out of emotional reaction. Emotional detachment is particularly important in high-stakes confrontations or negotiations. If you are emotionally invested in the outcome, you risk losing control of the situation. The person who is emotionally involved is the one who becomes predictable, and predictability is a weakness. Emotions make you predictable, and predictability can be exploited. On the other hand, when you remain emotionally detached, you maintain control. You can play your cards at the perfect moment without hesitation or fear of the consequences. You are not swayed by the stakes or the pressure. You simply act with the precision of a strategist, knowing that the outcome will be in your favor. Furthermore, detachment enables you to understand the emotions of others without being swayed by them. When you can identify the emotions that others are feeling, you can use those emotions to your advantage. Fear, insecurity, and greed are common emotions that can be leveraged in Machiavellian tactics. However, you must always ensure that you are not emotionally ensnared by them yourself. By understanding the emotions of others, you can manipulate them without becoming a victim of their tactics. One of the greatest benefits of emotional detachment is that it prevents you from making decisions based on fear or ego. When people act out of fear, they are likely to make mistakes or retreat from opportunities. Similarly, when people act out of ego, they tend to overestimate their power and become overconfident. Detachment allows you to avoid these pitfalls. It allows you to stay calm and think rationally, regardless of how high the stakes are or how others are reacting around you. Emotional detachment also protects you from being manipulated. In relationships, whether personal or professional, people will often try to pull on your heartstrings to get what they want. They will attempt to create guilt or sympathy, using emotional appeals to make you act in their favor. If you are detached from your emotions, you will see through these tactics. You will understand that they are using emotions as a tool to manipulate you, and you will be able to resist them. One of the hallmarks of a true Machiavellian is the ability to remain calm under pressure. While others panic, act impulsively, or make decisions based on their emotions, you remain steady. You understand that losing your cool is a sign of weakness. When others are visibly shaken, you will have the upper hand, able to make strategic moves while they are still lost in the chaos of their own emotional turmoil. Being emotionally detached also allows you to take calculated risks without fear of the consequences. Risk-taking is a necessary part of gaining power, but it is only effective when done with clear reasoning and an understanding of the potential outcomes. Emotional attachment to the outcome of a decision can cloud your judgment and cause you to act hesitantly or overcautiously. Detachment allows you to make decisions based on logic, strategy, and cold calculation, without fear of the consequences. Detachment does not mean becoming a robot or a cold, heartless individual. It means understanding that emotions, while an important part of the human experience, can be a hindrance when it comes to achieving power. When you detach yourself from the emotional roller coaster that most people ride, you gain the ability to control not just others, but yourself. You become a force that cannot be easily manipulated, and in turn, you begin to shape the world around you with an unwavering strategic hand. To be truly Machiavellian, you must learn to detach. Detachment is not a weakness, it is the foundation of power. Only when you are free from the constraints of your emotions can you truly control your destiny. When you become the master of your own emotions, you are no longer vulnerable to the manipulations of others, and you are free to move through the world as a calculated, ruthless force, unpredictable, powerful, and ultimately untouchable. To be Machiavellian is to understand that power is never a solitary pursuit. While the manipulator and the detached individual can survive on their own, true and lasting power comes from the strategic alliances and networks you build around you. These alliances are not based on friendship or loyalty. They are transactional relationships designed to benefit you in ways that others do not even realize. Power is not merely wielded through direct control of people, but through your ability to influence and shape the people around you, turning them into instruments of your will. The key to building a Machiavellian network is to never rely on a single person or group. Your power must come from many, all working toward your objectives, often without even knowing it. Creating a web of dependence. One of the first steps in building a powerful network is understanding the dynamics of dependence. In any network, the key is to create situations where others rely on you for their success, security, or well-being. This can be achieved by offering people something they value, whether it's information, resources, support, or opportunities. By positioning yourself as the provider of these critical needs, you ensure that people will look to you when they are in need. The more they rely on you, the more control you gain. However, you must never allow yourself to become too emotionally invested in these relationships. While others may think of you as an ally or friend, you must remember that you are only using them as part of a larger strategy. The Machiavellian understands that trust, when given too freely, is a vulnerability. Therefore, your relationships must always be transactional, where each party knows that they are receiving something in exchange for what they give. The art of divide and conquer. Once you have begun to form alliances, the next step is to maintain control over them. A Machiavellian never allows themselves to be at the mercy of any one individual, no matter how close they may appear. In order to maintain power, you must learn how to divide and conquer within your network. This doesn't mean directly attacking or sabotaging your allies. Rather, it means subtly sowing seeds of doubt, mistrust, and competition between them. By fostering a sense of rivalry or uncertainty within your network, you prevent any one individual from growing too powerful and threatening your position. This can be done through simple manipulations, such as playing one person against another by feeding them information that makes them question each other's loyalty or intentions. If you keep people off balance and uncertain, they will remain dependent on you for guidance and direction. People are always more malleable when they are unsure of their standing in the larger picture, and this uncertainty works to your advantage. Gaining influence through strategic positioning. In order to maintain your power, you must always be in a position where you can influence others. This requires you to understand the internal power structures of any group or organization you are a part of. A Machiavellian's influence is built by positioning themselves in roles or situations where they have access to the decision-makers or the resources that others desire. You must always be in a place where you can make or influence decisions, whether that be by controlling information, directing resources, or influencing key people. For example, in a corporate environment, this might mean positioning yourself as the go-to person for certain knowledge, or aligning yourself with those who hold the power to make decisions. In a political environment, it might mean securing positions of influence, such as advisory roles or key backroom positions that allow you to pull the strings without being seen. The goal is to always be in the background, controlling the actions of others without ever stepping into the limelight. Those who seek power for themselves often draw attention, and that attention makes them vulnerable. The Machiavellian, however, understands that it is better to be the unseen hand that moves the pieces of the game, rather than a player who risks becoming a target. Mastering the art of reciprocity. To ensure that your network remains loyal and under your control, you must understand the power of reciprocity. Humans are hardwired to return favors. When you give someone something, they feel an obligation to repay you in some way. A Machiavellian understands how to use this deeply ingrained principle of human behavior to their advantage. Reciprocity does not mean being generous or selfless. Rather, it means giving just enough to ensure that the other person feels indebted to you. This can be as simple as offering assistance on a project, providing them with valuable information, or creating a situation where they owe you something. When they do, you can call in that favor when the time is right, using it to gain influence, leverage, or an opportunity to advance your own agenda. By using reciprocity as a tool, you ensure that your network is always working in your favor. They will be hesitant to act against you or undermine you because they understand that they owe you, and those who owe you are more likely to remain loyal to you when the time comes to cash in on that debt. Building trust without surrendering power. A Machiavellian does not shy away from building trust, but they do so with a purpose. Trust, in the Machiavellian world, is not something that is freely given or easily earned. It is something that is created and maintained as a means to an end. Trust is a powerful weapon, as it allows you to gain access to resources, information, and support that would otherwise be out of reach. But trust must be managed carefully. To build trust, you must make people believe that you are on their side, that you are their ally. But you must never truly trust them. Your alliances are fragile, temporary, and always subject to change depending on the shifting landscape of power. Your trust is a currency, and you must be careful about how and when you spend it. You must be prepared for the eventual betrayal. And when it happens, you must act swiftly and decisively to neutralize the threat before it grows. The best way to protect yourself from betrayal is to never become too reliant on any single individual. By keeping your alliances fluid and ensuring that you always have multiple options and connections, you protect yourself from the whims of any one person. Conclusion: the network is everything. In the Machiavellian world, the network is the foundation of your power. By creating strategic alliances, sowing division within your network, and positioning yourself as a source of influence, you ensure that your control is unchallenged. But building a network is not just about collecting people. It is about understanding how to leverage them to further your own goals. The more people you can control, the more powerful you become. And as you climb higher, your influence will grow, creating a cycle that feeds into itself. Remember, a Machiavellian is never alone. You are the center of a web, and you must ensure that every strand in that web serves your purpose. Never forget that power is a game of manipulation, and those who play it best are those who understand how to build, maintain, and control their network of influence. You have learned the foundational principles of becoming a Machiavellian: detachment, manipulation, strategic alliances, and influence. But now, you must master the final step: consolidation and maintenance of your power. Without this, all the effort you've put into gaining control will eventually slip away, just like sand through your fingers. This is the part where many falter. They rise to power only to lose it because they fail to secure their position or misjudge their influence. If you want to truly embody the Machiavellian way, you must learn how to not just gain power, but keep it. Guard your power relentlessly. Once you've achieved power, you must protect it from those who seek to take it from you. The higher you climb, the more enemies you'll make. People will come for your position, your resources, and your influence. This is where most people fail. They get too comfortable, thinking their power is unshakable, and they become complacent. The Machiavellian knows that there is always someone waiting in the wings to challenge your position. You must remain vigilant, constantly aware of the shifting dynamics around you. Guard your power by being unpredictable. Make your moves from the shadows, keeping others on edge and unsure of what you will do next. When people can predict your actions, they can plan against you. But if you keep them guessing, they will always be forced to react to you. You must also ensure that your alliances remain in place. If you sense a threat from within your network, eliminate it swiftly before it grows. People close to you are often the ones who will betray you the fastest, so never let your guard down, no matter how loyal they seem. Never stop expanding your influence. Power is like a fire, it needs fuel to survive. If you stop expanding your influence, your control will eventually weaken. A true Machiavellian always seeks to grow, to dominate new territories, and to gain more leverage. You should never be content with what you have. Always look for new opportunities to expand your network, to gain more information, and to influence more people. This could mean stepping into new spheres of influence, perhaps through business, politics, or even social circles. You must constantly evolve and adapt, always finding new ways to extend your power. Remember, power is not a destination. It's a continuous journey. Those who get comfortable and rest on their laurels will be overtaken by others who are more ambitious. Your power must always be in motion, just as you should be. The more you grow, the harder it becomes for others to challenge your position. Manipulate the perception of others. One of the greatest weapons a Machiavellian possesses is the ability to manipulate the perception of others. Power is as much about how you are perceived as it is about what you actually have. People are more likely to respect and fear you if they believe you are more powerful than you truly are. Use this to your advantage. Create an aura of invincibility, of dominance. Keep your true intentions and capabilities hidden, while presenting yourself as someone who is untouchable. You must maintain an image of control at all times. Show no weakness. Appear to always be several steps ahead of everyone around you. This perception alone can deter many from challenging you. After all, most people are more afraid of someone they cannot understand than someone they think they can outsmart. Play the long game. Machiavellianism isn't about short-term victories, it's about the long game. You need to think several steps ahead, knowing that every decision you make today has the potential to shape your future power. The Machiavellian does not act impulsively. They understand that power takes time to build and, more importantly, time to maintain. The short-term rewards are tempting, but they pale in comparison to the long-term strategy of staying in control. You must always keep your eyes on the bigger picture, anticipating potential threats and opportunities long before they arise. To maintain power, you must think beyond the immediate moment. Patience and foresight are key to ensuring that your rise to the top is not just swift but sustainable. The ultimate secret to becoming a Machiavellian. The ultimate secret to becoming a Machiavellian is this: the only real power is control over others. To master this, you must first control yourself, then those around you, and finally, the systems and structures that govern the world you inhabit. By controlling your emotions, shaping the perceptions of others, and building strategic alliances, you will rise above the chaos and climb to the top of the power hierarchy. However, remember that being Machiavellian is a relentless pursuit. It demands that you constantly adapt, manipulate, and evolve. The price of power is constant vigilance, and the cost of failure is loss. But for those who are willing to play the game, who understand the rules of manipulation, strategy, and control, there is no limit to how far you can rise. Power is a game, and the one who masters the rules controls the game. So now that you know the path, the question remains: are you willing to walk it? If you found this video valuable, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. The game of power is always changing. Keep yourself in the loop and stay ahead of the game.